When it's a grind like that, and you come out here day after day, week after week, even year after year, and you're still an intermediate player, it's easy to get bored. It's easier to experience the repetitiveness of putting out the same effort that you're always used to and getting the same results that you're always used to over and over again. And when that happens, it's just human nature that from time to time, you're just going to sort of slip into autopilot where you're just going through the motions. You're not really trying, you're not really thinking, nor do you really have to though, because you've been doing the same kinds of things for such a long time. Usually if you're an intermediate player and you're just not playing well on a given day, or you're not playing as well as you're used to, it's the most common reason for that in my experience is because you're playing in autopilot mode. Can there be exceptions and other reasons why you're not playing well? Of course, but because to me, the most common reason for that is being in autopilot. Let's address the best ways I know of to either avoid or get yourself out of being in autopilot. First, the more kind of minor steps I would consider in terms of trying to avoid going into autopilot is to when you're an intermediate player and you're going through this long, continuous, repetitive grind of trying to get better over such a long period of time, usually in that part of your career, because you'll have the extra time, you'll start to explore stuff like motivation and inspiration, because you're kind of clawing for whatever it takes to keep you coming out here, keeping you motivated, keeping you inspired to try to get to that advanced level of basketball. So it's very likely that you'll try to develop systems and contingencies for when you're out here, reminding yourself of why you're doing it, why you're motivated to get to be an advanced player, the inspiration, the motivation that goes into it. You'll develop systems and contingencies that you can pull on, rely on when you need to remind yourself of why you're still out here, why you're going through the repetitiveness, why even though it's kind of boring and monotonous, you're still going to push yourself. You're still going to outwork everybody, though you've been doing it for such a long time. You're going to continue to push when the contemporaries around you are just settling for being an intermediate player. Those players that sort of give up and just settle for being intermediate, they don't have those kinds of plans and strategies for having motivation and inspiration, reminding them of why they need to put. So yes, motivation and inspiration can help you, but a tool that I use personally, which worked for me, and I think it's pretty universal, meaning it worked for me, but not because like of any specific reason of my specific game or any specific reasons why my mind works in its specific ways. I think it's more universal, where if you try this, it can at least help you as well to at least a certain degree. And that is because being an autopilot is more of a psychological problem. It's not really a strategy or a mental problem. It's not any kind of physical problem that you're having. It's more psychological, because you're trying to deal with the repetitiveness and the monotony of grinding day after day. If you're watching this video, if you're one of us in terms of like, this is a outdoor recreational basketball channel, where we're not playing organized basketball, we're not trying to get to the NBA, there's no grand, goals like that. It's just a matter of, even though it's recreational, we're still taking it super seriously and trying to be the best basketball players we can be. That's something that most players out here don't strive to do. So we're usually more driven than the average player out here, but it's just human nature to occasionally find yourself in that autopilot.